Ed Sheeran and Wiley have a track together that came out around 10 years ago called You. Over the last couple of years, it seems they fell out, and we're going to go through that story. There may have been stuff before, but the first time I realised Wiley had past beef with Ed Sheeran was on this Vlad TV interview.
I respect Ed. Like, I've had loads of little fallouts with him, but the first fallout would have came when I done something for him, a feature. I want you to do a feature for me, and now you're signed to the label. He didn't really want to do it, and they didn't want him to do it like that. So I was like, wow, Ed, I done your one for you. Can you not do one for me? And he was like, well, you can, but you can't put it out around the time I done my one. And you know, it was one of those. It was just like a silly argument because I respect Ed Sheeran.
Yeah, I mean, he turned into a superstar.
Yeah, he did. But he definitely came through our scene. And if you ever asked him, if he said no, I'll be very surprised. Very surprised.
So guys, Ed Sheeran dropped a song with Stormzy called Take Me Back to London. So guys, when Stormzy had Instagram, he put up the track and Wiley said, oh shit, now Ed, you want to do grime, yeah? Fucking hell, mate. Stormzy said, no Wiley, you know Ed been doing this from early, been a real one from early, can't question that. You know I love you and respect you, brother, but nah, don't do that. Wiley also said, look at this now, Ed's brought back grime, you see. Ed, your band, I don't want to hear you on another grime beat ever again, you don't deserve it, hashtag Wiley. Ed, I love your shit, you know that already. Wiley would then call into a radio station and go on a rant against Ed Sheeran.
Ed Sheeran, you are a culture vulture. You know what you said, Ed, at the beginning? You need me, man, I don't need you. That's what you said. But Ed, the other day, mate, you had to use grime to tip your song over the edge. They called you, Ed, the most influential urban artist of a decade or whatever they was, however long it was. When I read the thing, I said, you know what? It should have said the artist who sold the most. Because how can he be the most influential urban artist?
Let's take this back a bit, Will, because obviously Ed Sheeran's relationship with grime, it didn't start yesterday. You've worked with Ed.
All right, can I say one thing? Let me shape this, because SBTV and everyone thinks they've got some footage of Ed on Rinse FM or something. Ed Sheeran was nothing to do with grime. He was a guitarist who Scorcher met working with True Tiger or whoever, playing guitar when Gets and Scorcher are rapping. When they're rapping, thank you. Ed's not a grime MC. Everyone stop doing this stupidness. Ed's music is his music. Obviously, people liked him. So you could say the people who gravitated towards him, they liked him and his music. We liked his music. But you know what the problem came? We've got Ed. None of yous can't work with him because he's so special and he's so this. You can't touch him. But he can come and just touch our thing, though. Don't think so.
What went wrong between you and Ed between now and when you worked with him?
Because listen, when I was working with Ed, I was working for him to do it for him. When it was time to do it for me, he didn't want to do it. When it was time to do it for me, he didn't want to stand up to his label. He folded.
So you shouted him for a tune?
Bruv, listen, we helped that guy get into the picture. I done something for him, that tune, You. It's on his album, isn't it? So when I went to do my one, I was getting told, you can't do this, Ed can't do the video, you can't use Ed, basically, one big privilege saga. And I said, you know what? I knew life wasn't fair, but I didn't know it was not this fair. So I just carried on my time. Everyone thinks I'm mad. I'm not mad. I'm not mad. Ed Sheeran knows what I'm talking about.
Are you mad at Ed Sheeran on behalf of the grime scene then, or for your own issue with him?
I'm mad at Ed Sheeran because he said, you need me, man, I don't need you. And just before he goes to retire, go and start his family with his wife, guess what he did? He used something that belongs to me. He used it saying you need me, man, and you don't need, whatever he said, means that you are not allowed to come back and bread Stormzy and get a Spyro remix and use grime. You're not. You're not allowed to use grime. You know why? Because we're not allowed to use you or anything that you do. Have you noticed all the people talking about we're on a tune with Ed, we're number one? It wasn't even their version that went number one. They used the Spyro version to tip that one over, so they got used again.
So many number ones.
No,
he's huge.
No, stop. You're going wrong. You've been brainwashed.
Have I?
Yes, you have.
How?
You know why you've been brainwashed? Do you want me to tell you what a number one is?
Go on.
A number one is the week where It could be quiet or loud. I know Ed is big business, so don't try and... I'm not saying he's not big business. What I'm saying is Ed Sheeran going number one means nothing to him. The sales mean something to him. Because people can go number one on quiet weeks with low numbers. He knows he gets number ones, but that's not his thing. His thing is numbers, isn't it?
Okay.
So there's no point. This is what you lot do. You lot let people with numbers... You think that let them do what they want. They can't just do what they want. Oh, it's Drake. His numbers are massive. He could just do what he wants.
But that's not my point. That's not my point, Wiley.
Yes, it is.
No, but listen. Wiley, let me speak. Let me speak. Bro, let me just say this one thing.
You just said it.
No, but my point is, does Ed need anything at this point?
All right. So then what? Why did you do it then?
Can't he just want to do something?
All right, so then so listen to me. I just told you. So when Ed wants to do something, it's okay. But when we want to do something with Ed, and when I say we, you know what I mean, we can't. But Ed can, because he's got numbers, yeah? You have been brainwashed. But you know what? I'm not mad at you. I've got love for you, and you're my Don. But everyone needs to stop this saga of the person has sold so much and everyone loves him and he's got the X factor so he can do what he wants. No.
The thing is, Wiley, I'm just playing devil's advocate with you.
Yes,
I'm trying to make you see what some people are saying.
Hold on, wait, don't play devil's advocate with me. Don't do that. You know he's got numbers, don't act dumb. Why would you say that Ed's got, we know what he's got? I'm not mad, I don't hate Ed Sheeran. But he is not allowed to just do what he wants when it comes to the word grime, and I'm telling you that.
So you're saying that you feel like his relationship with the scene is not mutual?
Oh, it's fake as hell. Everyone just can't wait to get to the number one party to go and see how much he sold.
Why do you take that personally, though? Why does that affect you?
You know what? No, it doesn't affect me. This is not affecting me. This is just me explaining when people think, Riley, what's wrong with you?
Yeah.
This doesn't affect me. I'm a bad man. What's wrong with you? People don't know where the vibes come from. Listen, Ed Sheeran, you are a culture vulture, and I'm not listening to you anymore. I've listened to you rip off Marvin Gaye. I've listened to you rip off everything. I see you do a tune the other day with Justin Bieber. It sounds like a ragga tune from Sting. No one ain't saying nothing about that, though. So I'm not listening. I'm finished with these people. I swear to God.
So if Ed Sheeran shouted you and said, let's build this bridge.
Oh, Ed, listen to me, mate. It's 19 years later. You've just retired to go and do something. Look how I'm still here, A-Dot, and they're gone. How did Wiley outlast Ed Sheeran and Nicki Minaj, I wonder?
Would you say you've outlasted him?
Well, where is he? He's retired, he just said the other day.
But he said he's taking a break.
A-Dot, watch this. If you go in the music industry and you sign a record deal, 3 albums, whatever, and you kill the game because you've got a guitar and a foot pedal and this is England, and you kill the game, yeah?
Yeah.
And you earn all the money in the world, that's fine. You're worth 160 million. Now, if your point and everyone's point was correct, that Ed was there in grime, well, none of that 160 million has gone anywhere near grime. So that proves my point again.
Mate, what would your message be to people that are saying, oh, Wiley, he's jealous, he's bitter?
No, I've got a new message. Artists, stay away from culture vultures, stay away from pagans, and stay away from people who wait until you're blown to come and stand next to you and collect money. Like they waited till you was blown.
Ed Sheeran responded to Wiley with a statement saying, "Dear Wiley, just want to clear a few things up. I never said no to doing a song with you after we made You for number 5. You wanted to release If Could this same week as my debut single. I merely asked if you could move to a week before or week after, which you did. The song came out and I'm still very proud of it. I've said yes to 90% of the features I've been personally asked for, unless I've been on a break or I haven't known the artist personally. The only time I can think of that I didn't let my name get featured on a song that I was on Chip's League of My Own Part 2. He asked me to sing backing vocals, which I did, and I didn't feel comfortable being a featured artist when I hadn't written or performed properly on the song. You Need Me, I Don't Need You, I wrote when I was 15 and definitely isn't about anything other than a teenage anger. You know I have a deep love and respect for the scene and for you. I look forward to Godfather 3, excited to hear it. This is the last I'll say on this.
Take Me Back to London. If you're doing a tune with Jay-Z, why are you going to what's Take Me Back? Bruv, listen, all 3 of you were shit in the studio that day. Because you all was in there because of money. So the good vibe weren't coming out. All 3 of you was shit. Take Me Back to London, shit. Stormzy,
On that tune, you're shit. You and Ed. What do you mean you and Teddy are on grime? What the fuck are you talking about?
Wiley tweeted Stormzy saying, I'm old, but you was trying to work with Jay-Z, who Ed brought in the room, because if it wasn't for Ed, that session would not have happened. You're not with us, you're with them, #pagan. I am 10 years younger than Jay-Z, and I will murk you every day of the week. You're easy, too easy. Stormzy said, okay, I actually think you do crack, because you DM'd me yesterday saying, bro, oh my god, let's build houses in Ghana for our mums, and now you're here moving mad. Wiley said, yeah, that's the thing, I mean. But you see me today when I'm doing my thing. When JK tried it, you are not meant to get involved, Mike. You're meant to stay out. Stormzy said I weren't getting involved. You tried to be rude and say he's with Stormzy and Ed, to which I replied, you're annoying, that's all.
You're mad. In terms of for the culture like, and all of that, I said, bruv, you. And to be fair, he knows that. He's not stupid. He knows that, innit? Like, but we became the brunt of a lot of his jokes. At first it was Ed, and then he slowly started our Storm, and then he's kind of making it our Stormzy and Ed, because me and Ed are having a lot of success together recently. I take him back to London, own it. So he started putting me in the conversation, and to which I responded, innit? And then that's how we ended up with like World War fucking 3. Like.
Did you ever want him to be a mentor to you?
Who, Wiley?
Yeah.
Oh, I've always, even I got know me from. I say shout out to my big bro Wiley. That's a bad man from early. Why I've got a track on my album, on Heavy as the Head. There's a track called Wiley Flow, which is literally
paying homage.
It's like that's all it is. It's literally homage. It's me. It's like someone doing I don't know, like jigger flow, and like they're using all the jigger flows.
This story goes into Wiley and Stormzy going back and forth and ended up dissing each other. If you guys want to see that in a part 2, then make sure you leave a like and subscribe to the channel with that notification bell included. And I'll see you guys in my next one. Peace out.